In this video, we're going to give you 5 reasons that you probably need to leave that church. Oh, y'all all got problems? Oh, let's talk about it. Okay, we're going to get straight into it to give you these 5 reasons that you possibly need to leave that church. Now, I must forewarn you, this is not going to be deep, so you won't hear those things that'll say simply things that we say in church, like pray about it or different things like that. No, you don't need to pray about it. These are practical steps that I want to be able to give you. And to stay any longer more than you need to would just make you subject to some form of manipulation. And so we'll do it like this. When you go to a restaurant and you get in that restaurant, you're going to base it on a few things. You're going to look at the customer service, and you're going to look at what they're fixing, what they're cooking and preparing. Is it agreeing with your body, with where you need to go? So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and consider subscribing. So number 1, you don't agree with the church's teachings or beliefs. Now, I've got to say this here. Now, if you're at a church and you don't agree with the teachings or the beliefs, why are you there? You need to leave. That is not something that you sit around to wait for it to get better. And once again, this is one of those places that you don't want people telling you to just pray about it. It's going to get better. Listen, when you go to a restaurant and they feed you food that is bad, there's no need in waiting around. That's the way that they prepare it. You need to go ahead and find you a new place to worship. Number 2, the church's values don't align with your personal values. Now, there are several things that I look at when I say values. I'm talking about most churches have a core set of values. You need to find out what your personal values are. The challenge that happens here is that most people many times will go into a church unaware what their personal values, their personal standards are. So you need to figure those out first so that you'll know when it's a good fit for the core values of that church, whether or not they fit together, and is something that you need to be a part of, somewhere you need to be a part of. So this should be able to go hand in hand. My personal values and the church's core values need to be able to agree. Number 3, you feel like the church isn't welcoming or friendly. Now, I have to say this, whenever we are looking at a church that we're a part of, it should welcome you. It should be friendly, because this is going to be your place of worship. It's hard to come to the place of God and never get to the point of God because you don't feel welcome and you're not able to worship freely because you don't feel welcome where you are. And there's some level of hostility in the atmosphere. That is something to take into consideration. You need to leave if that's the case. Number 4, you feel uncomfortable being a part of a church that has a history of discrimination or exclusion. Now, not going to go too far into this, but if you believe in women pastors and this church does not believe in women pastors, that's not where you need to be. If you're black and this church constantly it's noticeable that they're not inclusive of black people, or you're at a black church and they're not inclusive of other races, or your race, you have to look at this. The people that are on stage should reflect the congregation, and if you see that it's not reflecting the congregation, you're sitting in the audience and you're there and the audience is very diverse, but the stage doesn't look like the audience. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You need to leave. Number five, you don't think the church is making a positive difference in your community. This is very important because when you look at a community, one thing churches are supposed to do is that they cultivate the community. What do I mean by that? They're supposed to bring out the very best in the community. Wherever there is mess in the community, there should be ministry from that church. So you have to look at it and make sure the church is not all inward and not outward, only concerned with in reach and not outreach, reaching out to the community. If you were able to draw value from this video, I want you to consider subscribing. If you like content like this, I want you to like the video. But I want to know what you think about these 5 reasons to leave a church. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I'll see you in the next fire.